Hello and welcome to the presentation of Group 13, ConAm, chapters 36 through 38. Members Melissa Bundy, Russell Reed, Maisie Rocha, and Catherine True. Let's get started. Chapter 36, Life as a Story. Duration negligence. Normal in a story, and the ending often defines its characters. Same core features appear in the rules of narratives and in memories. Caring for people often takes the form of concern for the quality of their stories and not for their feelings. Experiment. Psychologist Ed Diner and his students wondered whether duration negligence and the Peak-End rule would govern evaluations of entire lives. Now, the experiment was conducted with fictitious characters, never married, no children, died instantly and painlessly in an auto accident. In one version, there was an extremely happy person throughout her life for 30 or 60 years. In the other version, 5 years was added to the life. Now, the questions asked were, taking her life as a whole, how desirable do you think Jen's life was? How much total happiness or unhappiness would you say that Jen experienced in her life? With these results, there was clear evidence of both duration negligence and Peak-End evidence. Diner and his students also found a less is more effective, a strong indication that an average has been substituted for a sum. Adding the 5 slightly happy years to a very happy life caused a substantial drop in evaluations of the total happiness of that life. Pattern of judgment was thought to be because of the young age of those who participated in the experiment, but the pattern did not change when the parents and older friends of students answered. Objections to the idea of duration negligence. Pains of labor and the benefits of vacation. Duration appears to matter in these situations. What truly matters as we intuitively assess each episode is the progressive deterioration or improvement of the ongoing experience and how the person feels at the end. Amnestic vacations. Prefer a relaxing week at a familiar beach you went to last year, or go somewhere new to create new memories. Storing memories is often an important goal which shapes both the plans for vacation and the experience. We also evaluate touristic vacations by the story and the memories that we expect to store. Elimination of memories greatly reduce the value of the experience. In some cases, people treat themselves as they would treat another amnestic, choosing to maximize overall pleasure by returning to a place where they have been happy in the past. Some people, though, say that they would not bother to go at all, revealing that they care about their remembering self and care less about their amnestic experiencing self than about an amnestic stranger. Another experiment, Diner and his team provided evidence that it is the remembering self that chooses vacations. Also provided a global rating of the vacation once it ended, indicated whether or not they intended to repeat or not to repeat the vacation they had just had. Statistical analysis established that the intentions for future vacation were entirely determined by the final evaluation, even when the score did not accurately represent the quality of the experience that was described in the diaries. Chapter 37, Experienced Well-Being. Experienced well-being, it developed a measure of well-being of the experienced self. Continuous record of experience was unfortunately impossible. Experience sampling closet alternatives. More practical alternative was needed, so day reconstruction method was created, or DRM. Experiment. In the experiment, participants, who were all women, were invited to a 2-hour session. They were asked questions, answered a menu of questions about what had gone on in their day, dealing with it in detail. The method drew on evidence that people who are able to retrieve a past situation in detail are also able to relive the feelings that accompanied it, even experience their earlier psychological indications of emotion. DRM is to study the determinants of both emotional well-being and life satisfaction in several thousand women in the world, in the United States, France, and Denmark. Positive feelings, love, joy, engagement, hope, amusement, and many others, and so on. U index can also be computed for activities, measure the proportion of the time that people spend in negative emotional state while communicating, working, or interacting with their parent, spouse, or children. Mood, it's an individual's mood at any moment depends on her temperament and overall happiness, but emotional well-being also functions considerably over the day and the week. It depends primarily on the current situation, and attention is key. Observations, implications for both individuals and society. Social perspective, improved transportation for the labor force, availability of child care. All of these affect the surroundings of an individual. Uses of measures of well-being. Measures of experienced well-being are now routinely used in large-scale national surveys in the United States, Canada, and Europe, and the Globe World Poll has extended these measurements to the millions of respondents in the United States and in more than 150 countries. Chapter 38. Thinking about life. Effective forecasting. The prediction of one's emotional well-being in the future. Norman uses marriage as an example. During a couple's engagement and on their wedding day, the individuals predict a life of bliss. They are well aware that statistically many marriages fail and or end in divorce, but believe that this could never happen to them and that their love is foolproof. They choose to ignore the evidence and push forward, believing that their lives will be blissful and they will not be expected to follow the rules. Many people interpret the decline of satisfaction to a process of adaptation or the mundane of everyday life. Genetics of temperament play a large role in someone's view or disposition in life as well. The focusing illusion. Nothing in life is as important as you think it is when you are thinking about it. The focusing illusion puts too much weight on things, such as how fancy a car is or climate, and too little weight on real circumstances that affect everyday life, such as health, actual financial well-being, etc. Once the move is made, the individual may associate happiness with the climate. Over time, however, the person is less likely to associate happiness or sadness with a certain thing that they consider to be good. Miswanting describes bad choices that arise from errors of effective forecasting. Humans tend to exaggerate the effect of significant purchases or changed circumstances on our future well-being. Time and time again. The mind is good with stories, but it does not process time well. It tells stories and makes choices, however, neither represents time. When the mind is in storytelling mode, it is telling a story by a few particular moments in the particular beginning, the peak, and the end. The mind neglects the small sectors of a story, and time is not always valued. Happiness does not have a simple meaning. One cannot simply define the term happiness. It is a puzzle and very dependent on the individual defining it. Two people in the exact same circumstances may have very different outlooks and definitions of what happiness is. Thank you.